Yeah, that was a nice tune. Tune of harmonic instrumental music. Sometimes you don't need singers. Sometimes you just can relax with music. Only music that calls upon something great. You can be in that realm of music, nothing outside, only this space of music. It's said in the Bible that the nature cry out. The whole nature is in mourning, or is in grief, or is in pain. And this this green movement, Greenpeace and all the rest, the green, I think they are into something. Not that I agree with them, but they force the nature to starve. Without the CO2, it will starve. So the unbalance in nature is directly connected to those crazy people that claims that we need to stop the pollution. Because of them, there is no garbage, there is no CO2, there is pollution cleaning. It's a pity state. I think that getting rid of CO2 is the answer for getting a greener world. It's like they are children. They just came up with something like an answer, like the polar ice caps are melting. That would be good. Who is knocking on the door? Someone was knocking on my door. Not the door per se, but yeah, yesterday I got a call. It's like the environment. They don't want to. They want to tell the world that we need to do this, we need to do that. Like Greta Thunberg, this young lady, which is telling the politicians that you have to stop the industry. You have to stop the industry that is polluting the air. Okay, this is not my field, I agree to that. But anyhow, this can be really messed up. I agree to that. So, my friends, sometimes it's hard to understand where people are going, what people want to do, what is in their mind. I have been talking in length about confessing, and I heard just recently that if you confess, It was from the Kabbalists, the Jewish thought. If you confess, you bring it up, what you have forgot. Because you are in a denial, and denial is good for something, because you push it back what you can't cope with. Sometimes the fact is too hard to bear. So you push it back, you push it ahead, and in order to maybe, hopefully, to forget it. So the Kabbalists say that if you confess, it will make you strong, as I said. They said you will erect the memories, you will bring up the memories that were dormant. It's a great wisdom, this kind of confessing. When you confess, you erect what was from your side. You confess, you admit to wrongdoings, you admit to something at least. And if you confess for the wrong reasons or a wrong thing, it have no purpose other than to push you down again. But to confess is erecting the right. You erect, and they say that the only remedy for God to intervene, the only good reason to get healing, is a part of the healing, is that you confess. You say, it's me, it was I that did it. It's part of the healing process. And I believe wholeheartedly that to put in words what you have done and what you have been dealing with is good, that you say something about, you can confess it. And they say that you should confess it to people that loves you dearly, that have their hearts for you. To go around slandering about people in a bad way, thinking badly about people in a bad way, is not erecting anything, it's destroying. But to do the right thing is only when you confess, and God will intervene with blessing, with healing, with making you strong. And it promotes the dormant thoughts and acceptance, and that is good. To talk with a friend, a dear friend that you feel so close, and will dedicate his or her ears for you, is part of the healing process. If you find that kind of person that can listen to you and listen well, it's part of the healing process. But people today tend to overtake the story. If you tell them something, they will capture and tell you a even worse story. Like it's a kind of a competition thing, that who is with the baddest or ugliest or pitiest story. I want to win, I pity too, I need your attention too. No, people that can listen to you without exposing themselves too much to just in order to be listened to, is part of your healing, and they will be part of that healing process. I think it's due time that people realize that if they are silent when listening and can listen good, they play a very great part of that healing process. People want to intervene, interact, come in with their own opinions and their own views and all this kind of stuff. If they can let that be. We can see to Job, Mr. Job in the Torah, the Testament, Old Testament, for us Christian. It's the friends came to him, and he was exposing his suffering to them, and they were sitting there. First, the first in the I think if I remember correctly, they sat down there 7 days. They sat there, no, nothing, just being silent. And I think that silence made it more, made it worse. Maybe it was good, but when people are talking, they are exposing their inner thoughts. So that was what their friend was doing. They were attending him. Maybe the only purpose was to judge Job. The only purpose. So he was sick, scratching himself all over the body. And not only scratching, I have been going through that for more or less 7 years now, scratching, and but he lost children and everything, his kettle and everything, he lost everything. Nothing that he was providing, taking care of, was kept. All waste. I don't know whether his wife was also leaving him. He was sitting out there in a pity state, scratching himself, and couldn't bear with the turmoil on his body, in his soul. So that was the devastation of a human. And the friends, so-called friends, I don't know, I don't want to judge it, but if they came there just to sit in 7 days, I think it was an equal tormenting. What are they doing here? And they started with the judging. They started to judge Mr. Job. They started to judge him. So when people are coming and listening, they tend to act as if they are listening. But what they do when they sit in silence, they are judging. You must have brought this upon yourself. No good God can do this. I was talking about an agreement with my father and God that I confess. Because this guy can't take his own faults. He can't take so much faults from others, but his own faults will bring him down. And I think that was the case for Job. He was found righteous. Not that I look at myself as righteous, no. no. But just to compare, if he was to do something wrong, but the friends was sitting there and judging him, one after the other, and he rose his. Then Job was talking. He started to talk, and he condemned the day he was born. He couldn't bear with it. It was just a cry. I think that was the human cry. And God intervened. He arrested all the friends. Were you there when I created the heaven and earth and everything? Were you there? How it was formed? God asks, were you there? So when people are listening to suffer, people that suffer, they have no degree of experience, because they are tending to judge. They were not there before Job experienced all this kind of stuff. They didn't know the reason for it. They judge it to be something Job did himself. But God intervened. It was profound questions. God asked, were you there? Where are you? Where are you? So when you visit a friend that tell you a lot of suffering, accept it. Accept what he or she is saying. That is the truth. Can't you see me now? Are you blind? No. I will act as I am a stranger to every kind of suffering. But it is good that I can listen to you. It's good for me. It's part of my own healing that I can listen to you. Because I will resurrect something in me that have to do with confessing. They say, my shrink many years ago said, I told him I have no idea why some people are just going into circles of their own history. And he said that it's good because it is what they can do. And as long as they can repeat that story of tormenting, I think that it is a step forward in any which way. It's a step forward because they learn how to cope with that reality. I was together with a person that was scared of ants. And every time an ant came, this person was scared off. And I asked him, can't you just look at the ants and be familiar with it? So that seems to be impossible because it was scaring this person to craziness. There was no normal reaction to that. And it is a human condition. We have to bear in mind that even though we can't handle ourselves very good because of the tormenting. The cry is a human cry. The cry from Job was a humanly cry. So when people are telling you something, you better pay attention. You may feel it's strange, but keep quiet. Keep quiet. Accept. It's better for you to keep quiet than this person to listen to you. But every time I have been talking with people about my suffering, they can't keep still. They are judging. They are coming here and judge. They say they are clever in listening. They can listen to me. But I know the difference. Because I try to exercise something when I'm together with people. That I embrace. I not only believe their story, I embrace it as it was me. Sometimes I doubt them. Sometimes I doubt some stories. Shamefully I am for doubting them. But when it repeats itself, when I had some problems, the other one was always suffering more. Always. Not incidents. That if I had something that was tormenting me, the other one was competing with that. It was like I was out of the equation. So people are not really that good listeners. They want to compete. But if you lend me your ears, your silence, that is a great stuff. The people's silence when you are talking. So I was in the psychiatric here, not a shrink, but some people that was working to help people that was suffering from schizophrenia and tormenting thoughts, what do you call it? I can look it up anyway. Tvangstanker. Obsessions. When people are obsessed of specific thoughts, those people are really tormented. Those people in the healthcare community was trying to help them. But when I told them from my trip from Israel in 2014, I was firstly, when I came back home and joined this low-level center for anybody. And I've been working there, not working, but was attending them by my activism. And someone told me, or told different people, that I was a nuisance to the community. So when I came, this guy went. Every time I came, he went. So that was kind of a demonstration. So I was blamed for spoiling the environment in the community. And in 2014 in Israel, I was there throughout the summer, from the early summertime, end of the spring, up to the autumn. There were war, starting up a war in between Israel and Gaza. And every day and night we had to be aware of the rockets. People think that Israel is to blame, but that Hamas in Gaza were throwing up rockets all the time. So we were in Jerusalem. The rocket hit Jerusalem. So I was telling this guy about my... I have never been in a war before, so I told him that I don't know how to think, or I don't know how to deal with it, because I'm afraid I will get post-traumatic stress syndrome because of this kind of situation. And he began just to expose his own thoughts and opinions about people that are suffering, but I said I'm not talking about other people, I'm talking about me and my situation, and that I was in Israel during that 3 months period, that I had to undergo this situation. And he didn't lose that grip. So I wrote a letter that this was kind of harsh. Not only am I dealing with some annoying comments in the environment in this place, but also when I try to seek some help, I get defined. I get arrogancy that never been met by before. Is this the first time this guy is working with people in general? So he said, I am truly sorry about that. It shouldn't happen, and I understand that I did something wrong. So he had at least the decency to say that. Not that I think he meant it, but it was... So when I tell people something, I started telling people something, they turn right on, and they don't even excuse themselves for interrupting or cueing my story. So people are too much sufferers. People are victims. They are even playing victims. And sometimes we have to pay attention, as if we didn't know of that kind of experience. People that reject people's experience and say it's nothing, they are just indifferent of any suffering that people may undergo. They have no empathy to you. If they are indifferent, and if you are complaining or saying something that they may not feel that is regarding them, even though if it's not even regarding them, it's something that promoted that kind of feeling in you that they don't just consider. They don't care. So my friends, when you listen well and shut the fuck up to yourself and your own mind. Just receive the other one as something that you would be received by yourself. If you were the one that was sitting in his or her chair, you should receive this guy or this lady as it was you that was suffering. And that will be the start of a healing process in every kind of relationship, either with yourself or your next of kin or neighbor. Goodbye.